right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look at all the new books coming out this Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. I'm going to give you a rundown on all the things on my pull list, things that I can't wait to get a hold of and read, some variants that are coming out, things that might already be selling for a few extra bucks, and basically anything that you should keep an eye out for before you go to your shop this Wednesday to pick up your new books. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And if you want to see this week's rundown, just hang out for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so I decided to do a little bit of tweaking to the format here to kind of make this more broad and less about me in particular. But with that said, I'm going to start off with a new segment instead of my pull list here and start off with something that I'm calling the top of the stack, because this is the top of the pile, top of the stack. These are the books that I personally can't wait to get a hold of and read this, this Wednesday as soon as I can. And then I'll follow up with my pull list. I'm cutting out some of the superfluous other segments where with writing it out and those when I'm out, etc., because those seemed a little bit too redundant. I figured maybe I could condense and speed this up just a tiny bit. Hopefully you enjoy the new version. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And just a quick piece of advice, if it's 100 degrees out, maybe it's not a good idea to go and grill as I did today because, man, I am still hot. But I thought it was better than turning on the stove inside the house. So, I don't know. I guess you got to make a decision. And I may have made the right one. Maybe I made the wrong one. I don't know. But with that said, let's take a look at the things I do have on the top of my stack this week that I can't wait to get a hold of. And a lot of these, I'm going to do like sort of a top 5 here. And with those 5, these are all basically things I just can't wait to read. Starting off with one of my favorite reads over at Image from Ghost Machine, Hyde Street. Issue 7's coming out. I've enjoyed this series thoroughly so far. As far as which cover you get, it's really up to you. Cover A here is pretty solid. There is also a B cover as well as a C cover, and these 3 are all pretty interchangeable to me. Like I'm be happy with any of them, honestly. I might lean towards C because I kind of like the burn effect that they have going there. But I think the one you might want to keep an eye on is that they're actually doing an incentive here, and they're doing a 1 in 20 sort of a cereal box sort of design here. So we got Dr. Jelly and Mr. Peanut Butter. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. And this thing is already selling for a little bit over ratio, so you might want to keep an eye on it as it's already got like a pre-sale of $50 and the book's not even out yet. So I'm going to drop in every once in a while where there's something I think that stands out that you should keep an eye on. I'm going to start dropping these little dimes here. So keep an eye out there. With Droopy Dog keeping an eye on it, you should be keeping an eye on it too. So with that, keep an eye on this one as it could be selling well and could be worth your time to grab if your shop has it for a decent price. With that, the other series that is definitely one of the top of the pile, top of the stack type books for me, it's We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. This Rosenberg book has just been an excellent read for me. I've enjoyed it so far. We're here at halfway point, issue 4 out of 6, and I'm just looking forward to more of the story here. So with that, we got a cover A. There is also a B, and then we do actually have a C cover here as well. I think I ordered the C, so I think that's the one I'm going to be getting. And then if you want, there is a 1 in 25 incentive along with this as well. I kind of dig it. I do have a couple of these 1 in 25s because I like them. I don't have them all, but I don't know. If it's for a good price, maybe. But otherwise, I'm fine with just getting the C cover or one of the A's or B's. Now, the other title that came out the exact same week and is running on the exact same schedule with We're Taking Everyone Down With Us that I've also liked, albeit just a tiny bit less than this one, just because they're head-to-head. If these 2 didn't come out in the same week, we might be having a different conversation. But since I'm reading them the same week, You'll Do Bad Things is just a hair behind it as far as, in my opinion, of like how much I'm looking forward to reading it. These top 3 are really, really close. But this one is right here. Also issue 4 out of 6. We're halfway point of this one as well. I like the cover A here. There is a cover B option that you can go with, and then there is an incentive, but it is only a 1 in 10 if you want to go that route. Again, I've got a couple of these incentives as well. If I find this for really cheap, maybe, but otherwise I don't need it. It's just I do like this series. So sometimes, even when I just like a series for the read, I'll sometimes get the incentives and things just because I just like the collecting more of it because I like it. I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but hey, it is what it is. Now, the next thing that I'm surprised that this is actually one of my top of the stack books, but I really liked the first issue. I was surprised by it. I mean, granted, I was reading it because we were having our friend Tony Fleece on the channel at the time, and I wanted to review his book, but he actually did a really great job with this one. Not that I shouldn't be surprised. Maybe I should take the surprise out of my voice, but I did really like it, mostly because I'm not a Fantastic Four fan. I typically don't read the FF or even the Thing solo books, but here I kind of like this Thing solo series, and I'm not reading regular FF, but I definitely want to read more of Ben Grimm on his own. So issue 2 coming out this week. Looking forward to this. We've got cover A here, which is perfect for me. There's a cover B. Sure, it's not bad, but I think I'm going with the A. And then there is a 1 in 25 if you want to go the incentive route. I don't need to. Fighting off Hammerhead there, which is kind of a fun cover, but I'm fine with the A. I kind of like the dagger in the forehead. It's kind of fun. And that's 4. So for my last book, this really is, even though I said at the start of the show that I'm going to try to make this less about me, this pick right here is definitely just about me. As you might guess with my shirt, as well as the 9.6 Mega Man Master Mix issue 2 homage cover that I have next to me, I'm really looking forward to Mega Man finally coming out. This got delayed at Udon for a little bit because of the changing in distribution and all that. So there was a bit of a delay, but now we're finally getting the first of, I think, 5 solo one-shots going from different eras of Mega Man, and I'm looking forward to all of them. But here's the first one, Timelines, number 1, multiple covers here, and I'm kind of a collector at heart, so I did order all of these. I'm getting the A, as well as the B, as well as, I don't know if I got a blank. I probably should get a blank, though. But probably going to get a blank because I want to try to do some more sketches if I find some free time. And then there is an incentive here. Granted, it's only a 1 in 5, but it's still probably something you might want to keep an eye on because these low ratio incentives, even though they're low ratio, not always the easiest to track down because a lot of shops won't even order 5 copies of a book like this. But they could draw some interest if it becomes popular. I don't like sideways books. But it's weird that they decided to go sideways with this one because it actually is a wraparound as well. So we'll take this book, turn it on its side, and if you fold it out, you'll see it's more like a poster, if you will. I guess we could have framed it differently and just had it as a regular cover, but they decided to go this route with it. So I'll see it once I get it in hand, but I did order a 1 in 5 of this as well. But those are my top of the stack, top 5 books that I can't wait to get a hold of this week to get in and read first. But as you'll see, I get a lot of books, and there's still plenty more to go. So I do still have my pull list to go. So here we go. This is my pull list, combining anything that might have been on, writing it out, and whatnot, because just going to make it all in one, because this is truly what I'm pulling. So with that said, let's take a look at what else I'm getting this week outside of those 5 books already. I mean, man, I'm already in the hole quite a bit. My wallet is hurting, but we've got even more. Starting off with the fact that I was writing this series out, and I'm going to continue to, Absolute Martian Manhunter. I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. It's like a strange, I get fascinated, and I just want to read this at certain times. Like, I'm not looking forward to it right now, but I know in a couple days I'm going to have that itch to want to read this. So it's just one of those things. I don't know how to explain it, but Martian Manhunter, number 4, the Absolute books coming out this week. We got a cover A here. There is a B as well as a C. I'm fine with any of these, really. And then there is a 1 in 25 option as well, if you want to go that way. So pick your poison, see which one that you like, and get that book. Because, I don't know, like I said, I'm seeing this one through the end anyway. And with that, this is not the only Absolute book of the week. We are also getting Wonder Woman, which is one of the top ones for me. I still like it right up there with Flash and Green Lantern. I still like Wonder Woman a bit better than Batman and Superman. I don't know why. I just do. But story-wise, Minotaur coming in the maze. This is going to be kind of cool. Cover A is all right. I really like the cover B here by In-Hyuk Lee. Just something about it looks like a statue. Like it looks like something that we can order, and this is a design for a statue in our future. And then there is a C cover option here as well. Not bad. And then we do have some incentives, including a 1 in 25 Ivan Talavera that I really like here. And then we do have a virgin version of that Lee cover as the 1 in 50. As you know, they do that. It's minimal difference, but we'll take that minimal trade dress off and make this the 1 in 50 incentive. I don't know. All pretty good. All pretty solid covers. Also, at a DC. Thanks to Barlord, I'm back, or not, I shouldn't say back. I'm on this book right now, reading it, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm enjoying reading Green Arrow. We got some new storylines coming here after we're following those freshwater killer stuff, and I want to see where we go from here. Green Arrow number 25 coming out this week with a couple of good covers. This is a solid cover A. The B cover here is really good too by David Aja. I know, so I think Patrick made a joke about it being it's just Hawkeye in green because, well, it kind of is because Aja did those great Hawkeye covers on his solo series a while back. And yeah, it's got a similar sort of tone and vibe, but I admit it, I like it. So I'm going to like these, even if they're green instead of purple. Just saying. But if you don't like it, you can go with this third option here, which is also accompanied with a blank. I'm just going to throw the blanks in here and there because we don't need to spotlight a blank. But that red cover is another option there as well. So you got 4 open order covers and no incentives to worry about. Now, speaking of green, let's get on over to Green Lantern. And I really like this Zermanico cover on the front here. Live fast, leave a pretty corpse. Pretty cool for Green Lantern Corps. I know I said corpse, but, you know, it's because that's how it's written. And yeah, you get it. I like this cover, though. The busted up mask is a good look. I dig it. Legacy $5.91. Wow. This is coming out this week. We've got issue 24. I'm grabbing the cover A. The other covers here aren't bad. We got the Star Sapphire kind of mirror, whatever you want to call it. We got another option here by Marion. And then we do have a 1 in 25 here as well. But I think the cover A is the winner out of this bunch. So I'm fine getting that one this week. With that, let's get on over Image and continue this, I shouldn't say anthology, but it is sort of like an anthology in the sense that each issue is kind of picking up a different story. We're not following a continuous character. Assorted crisis events. And so far, I've enjoyed reading these. You know, some are going to be better than others, obviously, but I like this kind of one-off issue kind of format. It also leans into how I'm liking all these anthologies coming out with easy horror stuff. And even a bit of Hyde Street has that kind of vibe too, as we're bouncing between different characters, telling a story here, a story there. And yeah, there might be a thread running all through them, but, you know, we'll see. But here we go with issue 4 of this. Looking forward to this. We got a cover A. There is a B cover option here that I'm probably going to get that one because I kind of like the cityscape design and the Chelsea sign. I don't know. Just got a cool look to it. And there is a 1 in 25, but I'm fine, I think, just getting the B here. Not paying the ratio incentive price. But you do what you like with what you want to do with these books. With that, speaking of Tony Fleece, we have Feral, issue 14 coming out. And, you know, I'm a fan of this series, too. Seeing where it's going to keep getting it until it's over. And with that said, issue 14, we got a cover A. We got a cover B, which is the ones that I usually get, the movie poster homages. And this one is actually a recent movie. Took me a second to figure it out, but then it clicked once I saw it. This is actually an homage to the recent version of Nosferatu. So you see there, pretty well done. I like these, and these are the ones I get. I always get the B cover movie posters. But with that, there is also a 1 in 10, which is just a virgin version of that cover A. So if you want to go that route, you can do that too. Now, moving on, sticking with Image, I'm also getting the 3rd issue of Moonshine Bigfoot because this is just wacky, crazy silliness that I enjoy reading. It's like reading Smokey and the Bandit mixed with Dukes of Hazzard, and you throw in some wild Beastman characters, and it's, I don't know, it's just weird enough to make it fun. With that, there's only one cover here. Cover A, which, as you might guess, Big Footloose, is a homage to the movie Footloose. So there you go. Not bad. It's kind of fun. It's got that 80s vibe to it. That's what this title is about, so I'm into it. And, well, that's the one I'm going to get because it's the only one that's out there. Sticking with this, we're finally to the Energon universe for me now. Still over at Image, but now you guys know with the, I was going to point to my hat, but I don't have that one on. I've got this, my G.I. Joe, Transformers, and even Void Rivals. Void Rivals is a solid book in the Energon universe, and we're rolling, and I'm still rolling on with it. Issue 20 coming out. Multiple covers here. There's an A. There's a spoiler cover B, but don't worry, I'm going to spoil it for you because I don't think it's that big a deal. I mean, it is a little bit, but by now, should these really be spoilers? I don't think so. Yeah, so we're getting some of the aliens from the Transformers universe mixing in here. I forget what the pig dudes were called, but yeah, we got one of those guys over here. And we got some C covers here. The C cover is actually that 2-year anniversary of the Energon universe, the connecting cover set. We had one on Transformers. We had one on G.I. Joe already, and I couldn't show you the connecting set because it was missing a piece right in the middle. It's this one. But before we get to that, there is a black and white version of this too. So you can get a black and white set or a full color version set for these 3 cover connecting covers, and just enjoy them. Again, they're open order. They're not incentives. You can order them if you want them. But let's put them together just so we can see it. I'm only going to show you the color version, but there you go. So we got all the titles, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals all together. Characters from all the titles mixed in here and there. Mostly seems like Transformers because they're bigger, but you look down low, there's plenty of Joes, and then there's plenty of Void Rivals aliens down there too. So again, if you're into it, go get this connecting cover set for year 2 of the Energon universe. There's also a 1 in 10 incentive, as you know, and with the 1 in 10s over on Energon's side, they do connecting covers. This is only the second one for this current arc, so this is only the second cover to go with this one. So here we go. We'll connect it with last month's 1 in 10, and there we go. So we got some Transformer dudes mixing in with the Void Rivals and a big black hole in the middle. We'll see how this all comes together eventually. With that, there is also a 1 in 25 featuring Rodimus Prime. It is sort of a sideways cover, but not really. I think they're kind of falling. But with that, I still kind of like it. And then there's a 1 in 50, which is, it's all right. If you like that. It's a very simple design. Seems almost like a poster, but yeah, I like the colors. I don't need a 1 in 50, though, with this book. I'm fine just getting probably like that B cover spoiler is probably the one I'm going to grab. But with that, there's our Void Rivals for the week. Keeping it going. I also enjoyed the first issue of The Pale Knight, so I'm on board for issue 2. Yeah, we got the Plague, Black Death. I'm in. I don't know. I like the first issue, so I'm down for issue 2. Peter Milligan writing this, and awesome cover here. Only on one cover, so there's only one option, and it's a good one. So I'm happy to get this one and continue on with this story. Now, we're finally going to shift on over to Marvel now for a couple of books. Not many, surprisingly, this week. I don't have a lot of Marvel on my pull. Well, I shouldn't say that, but here we go. Predator versus Spider-Man has surprisingly been good. I've enjoyed this. I know something about this creepy, sadistic Skinner Predator. It's got my attention. Like this is not just a hunter. This Predator is a little bit off. But with that said, yeah, what's a Yocha? I don't know how you pronounce the Predator species name, but this dude's a little off and fighting Spider-Man. And you got Kraven mixing it in here too. It's kind of fun. Issue 3 of 4, so we're near the end already. Cover A is fine. I'm getting the cover B, I think, just because I like the invisible sort of effect of the Predator down below. And then we do have a 1 in 25 option if you want to go that way. And then there is also a Virgin 1 in 100 of that cover that I like and the one that I'm getting, but I'm not getting the 1 in 100. I'm fine with just the trade dress. So pick whichever one that you like personally. Ultimate Spider-Man's got a new issue coming out, so I'm going to have to grab that. Still swinging around with his son, Richard Parker. Yeah, so more Ultimate Spidey goodness. Cover A. Cover B's showing us a new Mr. Negative, which is kind of cool. I like the top knot. More impressive than, I shouldn't say more impressive, more intimidating, I should say, of a look for him than the 616 counterpart. Then we do have a C cover here as well, featuring the two, father and son, swinging at it. And then there is a 1 in 25 family shot by Dodson if you want to go the incentive route there. Also, have to get the next installment of Uncanny X-Men because, well, I'm an X-Men fan, and I'm going to keep getting these until either they are done or I am done. So, with that, issue 16, Dark Artery, part 404, wrapping up this storyline. There we go. Cover A is fine. Cover B is spotlighting Jubilee. I think they're just spotlighting different X-Men at this point because I think Mystique was last month, and they're just letting an artist do their thing and spotlighting a character. So here we go with Jubilee. There is an X-Men animated 97 kind of throwback, which is kind of fun. And then we do have a 1 in 25 by Kyle Holtz, which is kind of creepy, dark, to go with that Dark Artery storyline. And then we do have as well a 1 in 50, which will take that Jubilee book, make it the Virgin version. And yes, that's what Marvel has been doing. Whether it be a 1 in 50 or 1 in 100, that has been their modus operandi of late. So with that all said, that's my pull list. Let's take a quick pause and remind any of you out there who haven't tried Whatnot yet, use my link down below to sign up. Get yourselves a free $15 to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. No strings attached. You help out the channel. You get $15 to try it out and buy whatever you want. So if you haven't tried it yet, now's your chance. Get yourselves $15 to use on the site or the app. Now, with that said, let's move it on and get to the viewer recommends portion of the show. So, viewer recommendations. What do we have for you this week? Well, this week I had asked a question because there was a title I kept bringing up in the show that I wasn't reading, and I kept asking, should I be reading this? Should I be reading this? And yeah, somebody eventually answered me. And Ken had said, Out of Alcatraz is a lot like the Clint Eastwood movie, which I did enjoy the Clint Eastwood movie a lot. I haven't seen it in forever, but I do remember liking that movie quite a bit. So, all right, piqued my interest because this week we do have issue 4 coming out. So I think I might give a little bit of a catch up and maybe give this whole thing a read, or at least not a whole thing. I mean, I can get through 4 issues, I think, maybe. But here's cover A out of Oni. We got a cover B. There are some incentives still. There is a 1 in 10, which is a design cover here. And then we do have also a 1 in 20 option if you want to go that route, which is also kind of cool. But with that said, issue 4 is out this week, but you can still go and get off the shelf, which still should be on shelves, the other issues, because this thing hasn't really, I don't think, has gone up as far as aftermarket pricing goes. Some of the incentives might have, but not the regular old, hey, I just want to read it books. And there are also second prints for these books as well. At least a couple of them, I think, because I remember doing at least 1 or 2, maybe even got a 3rd print out of issue 1. But here's issue 1's probably still out there. If not, get a later printing. There are also issues 2 and 3 out there that you could probably get, and they're on the shelves. Give them a read. That's my plan, at least, to grab this Wednesday so I can catch up and check this out. And I'll let you know what I think maybe next week after I give these a read. Now, that's a recommendation from Ken to go check out of Alcatraz. Now, I'm going to give you guys a recommendation that I have no idea will be any good or not, because this is going to be my blind pick of the week. So I'm just looking at something that I'm reading through the synopsis, taking a look at the creators, taking a look at the book and the idea, publisher, etc., and just making a blind call of, hey, maybe this could be good. I did that kind of with Pale Knight and said, hey, let's give this a try. And it was good. So we'll see. This week's blind pick for myself, and also maybe for you, if you guys give it a shot on my recommendation, let me know what you think of it. And if I steer you wrong, I apologize. If I steered you right, I'm happy to hear it. But for my blind pick this week, I'm going to go with an Image title. Yes, a new Image title starting up this week, and this one is called News from the Fallout. So I was like, all right, Image. Image always tends to give us good stories. So I figured, you know what? That's got my attention to begin with. Look at the creators. Like, all right, Chris Condon, that Texas Blood. That's some good stuff. Ultimate Wolverine. And his teams with Jeffrey Allen Love, Last Battle at the End of the World. Anyway, I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but it's a kind of a throwback to the 1960s in Nevada. Nuclear bomb goes horribly wrong. This guy starts wandering around, known survivor, finding secret army bases, kind of giving me sort of like the creation of the Incredible Hulk mixed with like a Fallout kind of aspect. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm going to give it a shot. 2 covers. I'm probably going to get the A, but there is a B cover if you want to get that one as well. But I'll probably go with the black and white A because, I don't know, I like the look of it. Now, before we move on to our other segments, those of you out there who need supplies, use my code RENA10 to save 10% off your entire order. Get your bags, your boards, your long boxes, your short boxes, your CGC boxes, top loaders, pages for your cards, basically anything to keep your comics or collectibles safe. There's a product over there at BCW you can go and buy. And if you got to buy these supplies anyway, you might as well save money while you do it. So use my code RENA10 to save yourself 10% off the entire order. That's right, 10% off the whole thing. You help out the channel, you save a few bucks. So why not give it a try? With that, mixing up the order, because despite the fact that we're still talking about pull lists and other titles that we're recommending and saying we should try, I decided to now pivot before we get to the other stuff of maybe on the fence. Let's get into the ongoing thing. So our big storylines that are running through some of these books right now, and one of them being One World Under Doom. Now, while I'm no longer giving you a full catch-up rundown of all 50 books that have been out so far that tie into this series, I can do that and give you a catch-up if you want, but it just seemed ridiculous at this point because there's so many books listed. It's getting into the 70s with all the tie-ins. But this week's involvement are all tie-ins, and we start off with Doom Academy number 5. One of the few titles I actually really like, and it is part of my pull list, which is why I decided to go this route this week. But I do like Doom Academy. I do like this story. It's very much like Strange Academy. So if you like Strange Academy, you're probably going to like this. So with that, issue 5 coming out. Villalobos cover is the one I'm probably going to get. There is a Ron Lim option, as well as a character spotlight here, which is also the 1 in 50 incentive if you decide to go that route. So there you go. Those are your options for Doom Academy. Now, the second of the 3 books coming out tying into One World Under Doom this week, we have Fantastic Four issue 33, or Fantastic Zero, because this is basically the end of this run, and then we're going to get a brand new number 1 Fantastic Four next month with the release of the movie. We should not be surprised. But with that said, I'm not reading this one solo on its own. Like I said, I'm into the Thing solo series, but I'm not reading this group book. Maybe I need to dip back in and see what's going on. I don't know. There seems to be a lot going on, but issue 1 is coming out next month. Maybe I'll just jump in there. I mean, what's the point now of getting in at the end? But with that said, cover A, if you're still on board for this, there's a cover A. This is a foreshadow variant of some kind. I don't know what we're foreshadowing. Maybe a lost in time kind of situation, but Thing inside a T-Rex's mouth. That's a foreshadow variant. We also have the What If Disney variant because they are still doing these for some reason. And yes, this is an homage to go back to our old days. But with that said, they do continue the Saturday morning cartoon variants on these two, only for FF, I've noticed. But I actually have enjoyed the other ones they've done for these, but they just seem to keep doing Fantastic Four these days. But still kind of fun. Then we do have variants, incentives, if you want those as well. Here's a 1 to 25, sort of a slice of life, Norman Rockwell-esque, having dinner all together, if you want to go that way. And then we do have a, wrong book on the 1 to 25. It's the Norman Rockwell one, but here's the 1 in 100 is what I really wanted to show you. So just don't worry about the Uncanny book there. So 1 to 100, Fantastic Four, black and white, because they're still doing that. I don't know why they're still doing it, but they are. Final book tying into One World Under Doom this week is Superior Avengers #3. I haven't loved this series, but I found I've already read the first 2. I don't know if I'm going to read issue 3 or not. This is going to be like a judgment call when I'm at the shop. I don't know. But they're like alternate universe sort of villains being tied into this team. It's kind of strange. It's kind of weird being run by Doom's kid. And I don't know. It's an interesting title, but at the same time, it's meh. I don't know. I don't know how to really feel about it. But issue 3 coming out this week. Cover A. There's a B cover featuring the Ghost in this team. Not the Ghost from the movies or the Ghost from before, but for this team. And then we do have a 1 in 25 option here as well. Okay. With that, that's one of the ongoing storylines that I'm following. The other being the 50th anniversary of Giant Size X-Men. We're getting all these X-Men one-shots with these giant sizes. So we're getting a good one this week. So I shouldn't say like the other ones are bad, but I'm just a big fan of this era, and I'm looking forward to this one more so than I was the Dark Phoenix or even the regular Giant Size X-Men. Yeah, they're throwing Kamala Khan back in time to kind of mix it up the storyline or whatever, but here at this era, she's being thrown back to the Age of Apocalypse time frame. And I'm a big fan of Age of Apocalypse. That was like in my wheelhouse when I was younger, collecting. Love that storyline. It was huge. It was epic. I actually bought every part, every mini, all that stuff. And I was enjoying all of them. So with that said, it'll be nice to see what they do with this giant size story. We got Kamala Khan going back in there with our characters like Blink and etc., whatnot. But fun stuff. Looking forward to more out of this. Speaking of Blink, I really like this Blink cover by Ivan Talavera. It's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite of the week. We also have some good other covers here as well. It's not the only good one. We got a good Rogue and Magneto. Artgerm gave us a really cool Rachel, or actually this is Jean. This is Jean Grey in the Age of Apocalypse era when she was, I think, married to Wolverine in that, the one-handed Wolverine. And then we do have a 1 in 25. Kind of cool, I guess. But then the real winners, I guess, are the virgin versions of those really nice covers. So we'll take that Talavera, take the trade dress off of it, 1 in 50. And we'll do the same with that Artgerm and take the trade dress off of it. And that'll be our 1 in 100. Who knows how these things will do. The fact that there are trade dress versions make this an easy decision for me. I will just get the trade dress version as much as I would like the Virgin Ivan Talavera. I don't want to pay a 1 in 50 price for that book right now. I'll just get the trade dress. But with that said, now we're going to get on to some of the books that I might be on the fence about. Still getting them. So these, again, still books we're talking about me picking up. But I'm not sure if we're going to continue for long. So on the fence this week, what am I debating whether I want to keep up with or not? Well, the first one being, I thought this was over because the other title that it was running with World's Finest. World's Finest has already moved off of this story, but now we're getting the finale here on the Justice League Unlimited side of things. That's why I thought this was already done. And I was like, wait, I got confused. Because again, I'm like an issue so behind reading this right now, as you might notice. But here we go with part 6. And there is still a part 7, even though this says the epic crossover finale. I guess part 7 will be more of an epilogue. I guess we'll see. But here's the cover A. We got a cover B option. Ain't bad. I mean, I'm not the biggest blue Superman fan, but there we go. Looks like he might be in this. I don't know. We got some Legion of Doom characters there all around the table. That's kind of fun. And then we got this other shot here with heroes and villains facing off, going head to head. Trinity versus opposing Trinity, opposite Trinity. I don't know what we would call them. But there is a 1 in 25, so we can go that way. And yes, looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, this looks like the last 1 in 25 because it is. And they do join up together. So last week's Justice League Unlimited last month's number 7, it connects. So that's why we got a weird split Superman, because these two go together. Cool. Now, what else on the fence about? Well, the seasons. The seasons on Image is starting up a new story arc here with issue 5. I kind of liked the first one, but I didn't love it. It had a weird kind of quirky vibe to it, and we had these weird clowns, and I don't know where they're going to go with this second story arc. So like I said, I'm on the fence. I might give it a shot and see where this story arc is going to go, or I might just say, well, one arc was good and just leave it there. I don't know yet. So that's why I'm on the fence about this one. Issue 5, starting a new arc, Rick Remender. But that's what we got coming out this week. And then we have, so I'm sorry, there's still a 1 in 15 that goes with it. So if you want to go the incentive route, you still can. But the other book that I wasn't quite sure if I want to keep going, because it just had a sort of a similarity to You'll Do Bad Things, is this Sleep book. It was kind of interesting. The character goes to sleep, but I guess he turns into a monster and some bad things can happen. But at the same time, I'm not loving like the side characters and the weird buddy who was like named Cool Guy or something, or Hip. I'm sorry, yeah, his buddy Hip, who was also going to play like for the church. He's going to play guitar in the church. I don't know. This is not really my vibe, but we'll see. Maybe I'll take a look at issue 2. So we got 2 covers: cover A, cover B, and we'll see. Hey, there's Hip right there. Oh, man, it's an awful name. It's kind of just too on the nose. But with that said, we're going to move off of, again, I tried to pivot away from being so personal with like my list of like, oh, I'm writing these out. I'm just going to keep reading these. And then, well, these are left on the shelf. Yes, I'm leaving them on the shelf, but I don't know, just something seems a negative connotation when I say it that way. Just because I'm not picking up a book doesn't mean they're not good, or doesn't mean you don't want to know more about them or you don't want to pick them up. So I decided to rebrand the left on the shelf part and make this on the rack. So these books are still on the rack because I didn't pick them up. They're not a part of my pull list, but still want to keep up with them and see where they're going. So that's why I decided to rebrand this in a more of a positive light with on the rack. So here's some more titles that are on the rack this week for you to go and check out if you're interested. Because I've taken a look. Who knows? I could change my mind anytime, especially when you're walking around the store. You decide to just gut instinct. You just grab something. You just throw it in the pile and you roll with it. Who knows? With that, I just haven't been reading Department of Truth in like forever. So me picking it up now seems like it would be a weird move to do, because I'd have a lot of catching up to do. But issue 31 is coming out this week, and I know a lot of people are still well on board for this. Cover A, then we get to incentives with a 1 in 10, and then there is a 1 in 25 option as well if you want to go that way. But yeah, Department of Truth still rolling on, as is Rogue Sun. Also ties into that Radiant Black universe. Again, something I haven't dipped a toe in yet, but I'm kind of curious, and I've heard it's good. But we're 28 issues in. I got a lot of catching up to do if I were to get on board. But I know plenty of you are out there enjoying it. So you might be looking forward to issue 28 this week with your cover A option or your homage 1 in 25 option here. So this book, I'm sorry, I didn't put the 1 in 25, but this is the 1 in 25, and it's an obvious callback to, 141. I mean, we've seen this one done many, many times, and they've been doing a lot of X-Men as part of Rogue Sun with their homage covers, but it's still kind of fun to see. So 1 in 25 option, you want to pick that up, go for it. Now, I had read a good chunk at the beginning of Ultra Mega, but I fell off a little bit, and I still think I need to fully catch up because I think I did read the last issue playing catch up, but it's wrapping up. I'm still not sure if I'm going to get this or not, but I'm like 50-50 at this point. But Ultra Mega, the final issue 9, is coming out this week. It's $8, yes, but these are oversized, so you're getting more book for your money. But here we go. Issue 9, the finale. No big finish this week as well, because I think it was Doc Rob who said, why are you pointing that out? Because people who are reading it already know it's the end. Of those who aren't, they're not going to pick it up just because it's the end. I'm like, that's a good point. So I'm not going to point it out like that. It's just here on the rack. This is the final issue. This is wrapping up Ultra Mega, if you didn't know. A and a B cover. And then we're going to take that B cover and we're going to make it a black and white for the 1 in 10 here. Right? Yeah, there we go. This is black and white for the 1 in 10. And then we can take the A cover and we're going to take the color and trade dress off of that bad boy and make that our 1 in 25 because that's what Image decided to do. So that's what we're doing here. Now, also on the shelf this week, going over to DC, this Sonic and the DC Heroes, I've actually heard it wasn't bad, but I'm just not on board. I just haven't been reading them. So we're at issue 4, I think. And I'm behind. And issue 4 or 5. So it's almost done. Maybe I'll play catch up. Yeah, we'll see. But here we go. Cover A, and there's a cover B option. Pick which one you like if you're still on board for this. I tried Flash. I felt lost. Maybe I'll eventually get back in and try to catch up, read a good chunk of the Cy Spurrier run. But at this point, when I tried to dip in a few issues ago, I didn't know what the heck was going on. And now you're telling me there's all these multiple Flashes, multiple Wallies. I don't know if I could handle this right now. So it's just going to be on the rack for me. But you might be keeping up and enjoying the Flash run. I don't know. But cover A, part 3 of Bad Moon Rising. And then we've got some B options here. And then we got a C option here as well. All open order, no incentive. I kind of like that C, like the red and the yellow. Obviously, those two colors play well with each other. As you can see by my logo for this segment, I like those two matching up together. With that said, let's keep it rolling and check out Harley Quinn. I used to get this book, and then I realized I was just buying Harley, and I wasn't reading them because I don't actually have a lot of interest in the character. I like the show, but reading the comics is just not really something I look forward to. So I just don't pick this up anymore. But I was getting it just for the covers for a while, and I still might pick up the occasional cover that I really like, but it's just not a book that's just really for me. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. Issue 52, though, is coming out. Cover A. Nakayama cover here is pretty good. I like the Infinity cover with the picture in picture in picture in picture. This is tempting. Like I said, just to buy for a cover. It is tempting. Then we do got a C cover option as well, and which also not bad. And then there's a solid 1 in 25. If you want to go 1 in 25 route, you can go with it there. She kind of looks like Bernadette from Big Bang Theory in this one. Don't know why, but she does. With that said, Superman. Now, I tried to dip back into Superman like a month or two ago, and it's not bad. I just, again, felt lost because I haven't been reading Superman on his own for a while. So I didn't know about Lois's powers or her losing her powers. I didn't know at the time that she got her powers from Zod and that Zod might be back and yada, yada, yada. Just felt lost because I'm not up to date. With that said, I'm not getting Superman now because I'm still not caught up. So issue 27 coming out this week. Multiple covers. There's cover A. We got a B. We got a Gilliam March here option as well. We've got, I forget who did this cover. This one's kind of fun. It's almost like a classic, Norman Rockwell, where we're getting a little bit of Art Deco style with the background. It's kind of cool. And then there's a 1 in 25 here as well. Doomsday, apparently. All right. Nothing like a good callback to Doomsday. I don't know. Is he back? I guess he's back again. I don't know. Like I said, not keep it up. But we're going to keep going. More on the rack stuff that you might want to keep in mind. Deadpool. Now, I've said it before. As a character, I like the movies. I do. On the comics, I just can't keep up. I just end up just not staying on board for long. With that said, this is a legacy issue 350. This is issue 15 of the current issue, and it's a legacy issue, so it's going to be oversized, and it's $8. Now, with that said, here's the cover A, which is solid. I'd be mindful of the fact that they are introducing some new villain who's giving me like a Punchline kind of vibe a little bit. And who was that other girl? Miracle Molly. Remember those in Batman? Just give me kind of a cross between those two, maybe with a little Psylocke mixed in. I don't know. But apparently a new villain being introduced here. So with that being the case, and you know how lately Marvel with these weird mashup characters and these new characters being introduced, even to the point where people were buying Hell Hulk like they couldn't get enough of it, or what was her name? Powerlift over in the Miles Morales book, especially when you had the spoiler covers. Well, this wasn't, I don't believe, a spoiler cover. This is a cover that features this new character on the cover, so keep an eye on this one. I would say keep an eye on this one this week because this could be one of those ones where, hey, new character, new book, let's grab this one because she's on the cover and we're gonna go ride with this one. Forget about the rest. I don't know, just saying. Her spotlight there on that cover will probably make this one to keep an eye on, one to watch. With that said, there is also a movie version, The Art of Marvel Studios, where we're getting a little callback to the third movie there, if you want to go that route. I don't really care for those. I think it's a waste of a cover, personally. Put all these things in an art book and sell them that way. I don't need these as individual covers, but hey, a lot of people collect a lot of different things. Just because I don't collect it doesn't mean there's not somebody out there who is. With that said, this one, it's on the rack, but you know what? I might just get it because I just like this Nick Klein cover on Incredible Hulk 26. It looks like Castle Grayskull. It's just creepy. It's well detailed. I don't know. I like it. I like it. Got Winter Soldier in there. Apparently, the end of the Hulk and Charlie. I don't know. I guess this little team, little sidekick is going to go off her own. I don't know because I haven't been reading the book for a while, but I'm kind of curious by this one just because of the cover. Just because of the cover. So there's the cover A. Here's the B. All right, I guess he's being targeted by Winter Soldier. I guess that's the angle here. There is a C option here with Hulk reading a book. This is the Marvel Comics Presents secret. I shouldn't say secret, but like there's a handful of these scattered throughout the last couple of years where they just randomly throw out a Marvel character reading a Marvel book, and it's got the Marvel Comics Presents logo. So it's just sort of a loose ongoing series of variants. I don't know the beginning or the end. Maybe we'll collect them up one day once we know more about it, but just pointing that one out. With that said, and mentioning Powerlift and Miles Morales, well, we're getting more of it as part of this God War storyline. So here we go, following up on the gamma-powered therapist, the understudy to Doc Samson, who is now Doc Sasquatch Samson, or I forget, Doc Sasquatch, whatever the hell he's called now. Point being, I think this is Powerlift now. She's a new character. Everybody was buying that first and buying that cover that she was on. Now here she is on another cover, albeit now more of a second appearance, but something to keep an eye on, I guess. But I'm not giving it the logo because I think the Deadpool book would be more to watch than this one. But with that said, we also got this cover here, also featuring Powerlift. It's a connecting cover. Once the storyline's done, maybe I'll show you all of them, but I'm not keeping up with it well enough to want to have to do that for everything. Like on a month-to-month basis, but we're just going to roll on from here with more Spider-Man characters as Spider-Boy is also coming to an end this week with the final issue, issue 20. Haven't really read much of this run. I read bits and pieces here and there. I know we got introduced to Spider-Girl, and she's already got her own solo title spinoff already, and Spider-Boy is wrapping up here with his final issue, issue 20. Oh no, goodbye, Spider-Boy. Cover A. We got a cover B, which is the farewell variant edition with Peter and I forget what the little dude's name is, the little redheaded boy. I can't think of his name. But anyway, Spider-Boy. Then we do have this foreshadow variant as well. Ooh, looks like I think all the characters are coming after Peter Parker because apparently we're getting like 2 Peter Parkers in the future, and one's going to be cosmic and one's not going to be cosmic. And I guess these street level characters are not happy with the one that's left behind. I don't know, but this is the foreshadow variant. And then we do have this really cool puzzle variant. So I want to take a look at this one because I was like, puzzle variant, what does that mean? And then I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. This is kind of fun. So let's take a deeper look at this cover because I might just get it just for the fact that it's a puzzle variant. And granted, it's not a difficult puzzle, but a puzzle I solved nonetheless. And if you don't want to know the solution to what the puzzle is, don't keep watching because I'm going to spoil it. So let's take a look at this cover. And you look at the art and it's spelling out some words. It's spelling out some things. What do we see here? S-P-I, then there's a D, and then look, there's an E, and then in the window we got an R, and then what's over here? We've got Spider-Boy. Huh? Kind of fun. That's the top half. Let's look at the bottom half. Underneath in the subway, what do we got down here? Well, we got some more little hints and clues here. W-I-L-L-R-E, and then turn will return. So I guess this is not the end after all for Spider-Boy. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of fun, so I figured I'd point that out. With that said, let's keep it going and point out that we have issue 2 of Spider-Man and Wolverine coming out. This Carrie Andrews drawn series. And I like the fact that he's gone with this old school 90s vibe, like Todd McFarlane amped up kind of not energy. I guess energy is the word I'm looking for. But I'm not getting this title. I'm just tired of all these 2-character team-up books, the Deadpool Wolverines and the Spider-Man and Wolverines and the Spider-Man Deadpools. And it's like, hey, let's just take our popular characters, keep pairing them up and make people buy these weird, somewhat unsure if these are ongoings or minis or what these are because we don't announce it. We're just basing off the popularity and how well it sells with no real plan of what we're doing. That's what it seems like to me. But with that said, I'm just not on board for this. I just can't get everything. But here we go, issue 2. There is an Eric Larson cover here on issue 2, which, while I like the kind of throwback trade dress that we got going up there at the top, man, I'm not loving that Wolverine. I do like Eric Larson's art. I remember from way back in the day. I still like when he got even more loose and stylized while doing his Dragon run the last 30 years. But I'm not a big fan of this Wolvie here. Spidey's not bad. I mean, Spidey looks like how he used to draw Spidey, but that Wolvie is looking a little, I don't know. With that said, we got incentives here too. We got a 1 in 25. You want to go that way? We've got a 1 in 50. Not too bad there. I think it's an Humberto Ramos. And then we do have a virgin version of that cover A. We'll make that our 1 in 100. Thank you, Marvel. Moving on. This was issue 2. Let's move on to all the new number 1s that are coming out this week because, we've got plenty of these to cover as well. So new number 1s coming out this week that you might want to pay attention to. Let's see where we're going to start off here. I think we're going to kick it off with Dark Horse and Stranger Things. So Tales from Hawkins 2, issue 1 of 4, starting a new mini-series of, I guess, little side stories in the town of Hawkins before we get the final season of Stranger Things starting up. What is it, in the fall? I think it's in the fall, right? Seems like it's a ways off, but yeah, final season is still coming. A couple of covers here. Yeah, A, B, C, and yes, I believe there is also A, D. So pick whichever one you like if you're into this. I don't like these weird little tie-in comics too much to like TV shows. It seems like you're just trying to cash in, and the stories might be all right, but it's like nothing you need to really read. Usually it's like, well, if you want the little extra stories, you go for it. But again, you see how much my pull list is costing me. I can't get everything. With that said, Tramps of the Apocalypse. One cover here. Cool. 2094. Don't know much about this title. I don't know if I'm getting in on this. But it's coming out. So new number 1 there. Lazarus Fallen. So I think this is starting the final arc of this Eisner Award-winning team of Lark and Ruka. I haven't really read the other ones, so I don't know what's going on here with the final run, but all right, maybe I should check it out. One cover. That's all you got. So one cover to worry about if you're in for this final arc. What else do we got here? Oh, Mad Cave. Mad Caving is giving us this don't forget your briefcase. Something about the briefcase that keeps all the nuclear codes inside of it maybe feels a little timely with what's going on in the world. I don't know. But to me, I don't think I need this book right now personally. But it's a new number 1 coming out with 2 covers, cover A, and that cover B is pretty solid. I do like that B, but I think it's Marguerite Sauvage. But I don't know if I'm going to pick this one up. I know I'm definitely not picking up the Biker Mice from Mars number 1 again because I don't really care. Biker Mice from Mars were never really my thing. I remember when they came out. It was a little after my toy collecting time. But here we go. We're already with a new ongoing series. I feel like they just had a series, but here we go with a new number 1 again with a lot of covers. Here we go. Oh, and then more crap about what this book's about that I'm not going to bother reading. Cover A. Bees. What else do we got? We've got C covers here. All right, that one's not bad. We'll just slap some foil on it too, and then we got a foil option of it as well as a sketch, a green sketch cover if you want to go that way. We'll move the foil out of the way, and then we do got this guy, this 1 in 10. You want to go the 1 in 10 route, or 1 in 20. We got 1 in 20s for you if you like incentives. Or hey, we got a 1 in 50. You want to go that way? Simon Bisley. And if you don't like the trade dress on this, don't worry, I got you covered. I'll take that off and give you it for a 1 in 100 price. How about that? No thanks. I don't need any of them. But that's just me. If you're down, you're into it. Hey, there's a lot of different age people out there. This is more nostalgia for others. That's not necessarily myself. I'm not going to judge you for having nostalgia for this because there's another title in here that's also not nostalgia for me, but I get it if it's for you because it was after my time. But Biker Mice from Mars is coming out with a new number 1. Never Wars. This just sounds like an amalgamation of a lot of public domain character type things that somebody's trying to make a storyline out of it. So magical realms of Wonderland, Oz, and Neverland have been thrust into a devastating war. Okay. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's always fun to do that, but I don't know if I need this. But cover A, a lot of covers on this. And I've not heard of this publisher before either. Thunder Comics. Don't know much about them. But we got cover A. Does these connect? These might even connect. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think I might have these backwards, but I think these might connect. But we got A, B, and then there is a C here. Now, as I'm looking at them, these might actually go together. Well, if they do, oh well. But we also have some wraparounds. Here's the front, and then we'll move it on over and show you the back because we got a wraparound cover here with our flying monkeys and whatnot, and World War II-esque type, or is it World War I? I don't know what time frame we're really looking at here, but yeah, we got that, and here we go. Here's another cover. This, the gas mask. I think there's more one, right? I think it's more one. Like, are you my mommy? Remember that Doctor Who episode? I think that was World War I. Anyway, wrap around here, and then we got yet another wraparound. A lot of covers, definitely a lot of covers. Here's the Neverland side of things. So I guess you got one cover for each of the worlds: the Oz, Neverland, and whatever. I don't know. Still, probably not for me. The Purpose Project. It's a one-shot. Something about a workplace comedy pairing an old guy and a stoner or something, or a retiree. I don't know. Maybe it's fun. It sounds like a TV show kind of pitch, but it's a one-shot comic. So we'll see. Here's that other nostalgia property that's not for me, but I get it if it's for you. VR Troopers. Brought back in the current Power Rangers run. But again, Power Rangers aren't my thing after my time. But following Power Rangers Prime, we have VR Troopers starting a new series here with a lot of covers. We got A's, we got B's, and hey, they're holding the helmet like the Power Ranger covers. Wow. We got C's. That's a Dan Panosian, by the way. And, I'm a Dan Panosian fan, but I don't know if I can get this because I can't get everything. We've got just a logo cover if we want to go that way. We've also got a foil edition of that cover A. If you want a shiny foil version of it, we got you covered. If you just want a virgin version of the helmet head, yeah, we got that one covered for you too. You can get that if you're into that. And we got another option in case you didn't like any of those. We got these shiny white suits. And then we've got some incentives. You want to go incentives? We're going to make a virgin version of the cover A that's not foil covered. That's the 1 in 10. We're going to take that Panosian and take the trade dress off of that and make that our 1 in 20. Now we're going to go and take, I didn't move it, but it looks like we're going to take that other one and make that our 1 in 50 and make it more slightly blue. Randomly, let's just throw in a 1 in 75 for shits and giggles. So we got that. And then, yes, we even have a 1 in 100. So lots and lots of VR Trooper covers. I never thought they were that popular, but what do I know? With that said, we're getting a Random X book. New number 1, collecting, I think, some online comics. X-Men from the Ashes 7 to 12, first time in print. I think these are some of those Marvel online books. But Demons and Death, okay. I don't think I need this, but we're getting whatever this is. So collecting those online books. Now, I am kind of curious of this. I might pick this up just because I don't know exactly what we're getting out of the new history of the DC Universe. So we're learning the definitive history of the DC Universe after 90 years. So Mark Waid, all right, I trust Waid. We'll see what happens here. Might give it a look-see to see exactly what it is. But issue 1, multiple covers here, obviously. Cover A, I like the Dan Mora. Actually, you know what? I do think I asked for the Dan Mora. So I think that's the one I'm going to probably get, even though it's in the new number 1s. I still think I'm getting it. So this is yet another book. It's in my pile. It's too much to read. We got this cover here. I like this. Then look at the little girl looking at the billboard. Always fun when it's like, I don't know. I like it when people looking at a graffiti on the wall or billboard, posters, things like that. I don't know. I like that angle. We'll take a foil too. So here we go. We got an Art Germ foil. You want to go classic Wonder Woman foil, we got you covered. We got every DC character in the universe on the covers here. This is going to connect at some point, I believe, and it's also a wraparound. So if you want to get this one, yeah, here you go. There's a lot covered already, but more to come. Also, if you like wraparounds, we have this option for you as well on this book. You can go this way with it. So again, new history of the DC universe. So that one's fine. Sorry, I don't know. Because I did that because we wanted to go from here to go into the one book. Sorry, messed up my little transition there with random clicks. But I wanted 25 option here as well. So there is an incentive if you want to go that route. It's a Michael Cho, I believe. So yeah, cool. Now, facsimiles. Doesn't look like I'm getting this in under an hour, but maybe just a hair over again. Facsimiles. What are we looking at here? Only a couple. So we actually are near the end here. These segments should go pretty quick. So with our facsimiles, we are looking at a facsimile for a Batman, the Tim Sale stuff. So more of the Loeb and Sale books. This time is Batman Ghosts. You can get a regular facsimile, or you get the shiny foil version of it if you want that. Marvel's also giving us the next installment of the Dark Phoenix saga with 136. So you can get this issue, 136, in a facsimile. And hey, they even have a 1 in 25 with new cover art by Ivan Tao if you want that. It's not bad, but you know my feelings on the different art on the facsimiles already. So I'm not going to belabor the point and continue there. We're going to move on to the later printings because we actually do a lot of later printings this week. So much so that some have multiple covers, which again is exhausting to me. But it is what it is. And I want to tell you about them because I know a lot of people are going to buy these. Most notably, what we're starting off. We're starting off with, once again, Absolute Batman. Because, yes, if you somehow haven't gotten a copy of Absolute Batman, but now finally want to get in, there is a 7th printing for you. But are you going to buy the one that looks pretty much like the cover A, just recolored a little bit? Probably not, because you're probably one of those collectors who has to get everything, and you want to get that Mark Spears cover here. So Mark Spears is giving us pretty cool, I should say, later print covers that will connect, because we are getting 3 of them. And you'll see them in a minute. Batman, #1, 7th printing. There is also a shiny foil version of it. So yes, you can get that one if you'd rather have the foil version of this connecting cover set. We also have the 5th printing of Absolute Superman #1, because much like Batman, if you didn't get a copy somehow, we'll get another one out there for you and give you multiple options at it. We'll give you the A, we'll give you the Spears connecting cover, or the Spears connecting foil cover. So whether you want them shiny connecting or regular connecting, or just the old school looks like the original cover, you're covered with 3 options in the 7th, 5th, and 6th printing for Absolute Wonder Woman #1. So yes, once again, same cover, redone yet again, but we'll give you 2 Spears options as well. Again, I kind of like them. I like these. So I don't know if I can get all of these though, but we're gonna get all 3 of them together to show you what they look like, including, well, here's the foil if you want to go the foil. Oh, did I forget to connect them? I think I did forget to put them in the connecting set, but you get the idea. They connect. Batman's in the middle. Wonder Woman's on the right. Superman was on the left. I'm sorry. I thought I put it in the deck, but I apparently missed it because I'm moving on to the next 2nd printing, which is the Goddamn Tragedy. So the Goddamn Tragedy. I didn't get to check this out. I was kind of curious about this when it came out, but maybe I'll grab the 2nd print if I can't get the 1st. I don't know. Some sort of Western tale, from what I recall. But we are also getting a 2nd printing for issue 2 of Assorted Crisis Events. So if you missed out on that, catch up there. We are getting a 3rd print doing this cover yet again, the greatest hits version of the Final Fantasy for Lost Fantasy #1 in a new 3rd printing. It was all right. I did read this one. It was okay. Didn't love it, but it was all right, I guess. But didn't hook me. And Marvel's giving us a bunch. So Amazing Spider-Man #3, 2nd printing. Pretty cool. Hobgoblin. Wings, Rose Besh sketch on the 1 in 25, if you want to go that way. Godzilla versus X-Men #1's getting a 2nd print. There is a Virgin here, if you want to get that in the 1 in 25. Gwenpool #1 just returned. Gwen Stacy, sure. Virgin 1 in 25, if you want to go that route. And Ultimate Spider-Man #16, also with a 2nd print. This one became popular because of this variant cover, which is Richard Parker in that black suit. Even though he shows up before this issue, don't pretend this is his first appearance. He's been around for issues at this point. It's just the first time they actually put him on a cover, and now we're getting a 2nd print and then putting him on the 2nd print incentive cover. I don't know, but there it is. We'll see how these do. All right, let's get to the variants because we're already about an hour in, and we got to start seeing this thing home. George Perez Legacy variant covers. We do have a handful this week. These have been slow coming out, like 1 here, 2 there, 1 here. But this week, maybe just to wrap up the month, we're getting loaded with a bunch of them. We're getting Flash. Cool. I like these, by the way. I mean, it's George Perez. It's classic stuff. But again, they do look like trading cards a little bit. But we got Flash. We got a Green Arrow here. on Green Arrow 25. And also, these are some books we might have already covered, but here are other covers that fit these segments here. So Green Lantern, issue 24, has got this one. We got a Hal going here. We've got Justice League Unlimited number 8, giving you a Justice League team. Classic stuff. And then Soups. We got a Superman 27 with Superman there. Cool. DC is also, I think, wrapping up their Pride Month variants this week with a couple. We got a couple, not too many, but we do have a couple. Our first one being the, where is it? First one is the Superman 27. So yet again, here's another Superman 27 cover that wasn't covered earlier because, well, it fits a segment. We're also getting a Justice League Unlimited number 8, as well as a Harley. Remember Harley 52? So boom, this connects with that Poison Ivy from earlier in the month. We knew it was coming. It's just a whole month apart because the Poison Ivy came out the first week of the month, and now in the final week, we're getting the Harley. And they also released them right and left instead of left to right, which is also a bit confusing, but boom, there they are. They connect. With that, we're also getting another random, to me at least, because I haven't seen an announcement or a list of all these Superman movie variants. So just thrown in there, we're getting one of these Superman movie variants, getting us again ready for the movie, which comes out in a couple of weeks now. But this one tying into that scene from the trailer with Lois and Clark just kind of flying in what looks like Grand Central Station, but I guess it's a Daily Planet. But to me, it always makes me think of a train station. With that, Marvel also has their Pride variant. So let's go back to Marvel's side of things here and look at their Pride variants because we have one more to finish them off. They released most of theirs at the beginning of the month and then took a break and then left us with one that trickled out here at the end because, well, for one reason or another, Deadpool took forever to come out. So Deadpool, this time featuring Valentine Vuong, is our Pride variant for Marvel. And that wraps up this set for this month. Star Wars also wraps up their set with their final of 4 covers and their Star Wars Pride Month covers. And this one is on the Vader book, the Darth Vader Legacy issue 5. And this is Sabe. So we got Sabe, the stand-in for Padme. Remember, Keira Knightley played her, I think, in the movie. Or maybe it was one of them, and then she got blown up, but didn't get blown up. Whatever. Sabe. Wrapping up 4. So we only had, I think, 4 of these for this month. I also have some shorts later in the week if you want to see all the covers together. So you can check those out. The Todd Nauck iconic covers are also continuing as we're getting one more thrown our way this week with issue 2 of The Vision and the Scarlet Witch, I believe. Why they didn't have this ready for issue 1, I don't know. But we got it for issue 2. So here we go with the 2 of them. Cool. The Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic variants are wrapping up this week. So we've had runs with The Thing, Johnny Storm, and the Invisible Woman. And now we have Mr. Fantastic and his set. And then I think next month when the movie comes out in July, I think we'll have a whole nother set of Fantastic Four variants with all of them. But thankfully, they kept this set tight. And there's only like a handful of issues. But here's the final one. Also Deadpool being released last in the month. So there we go. Deadpool being our final installment for these Mr. Fantastic variants, of which we have, what, half a dozen? Thereabouts? Yeah, because I think we had 2 the one week. But cool. 5 or 6 of them. Not too bad. We're continuing on. We're not near the end. I think there's one more coming our way, but I don't even know if it's been announced yet. But the Phineas and Ferb variants this month. We're also getting one more this week. This time out, it is on that Fantastic Four book, issue 33. Phineas and Ferb, and it's an interesting homage because, again, they're not choosing the big books that everybody knows, like the Uncanny 141s or ASM 300s. They're picking some interesting stuff, which I gotta give them props for. And this time it's the Marvel Treasury Edition for Fantastic Four. So cool. I mean, honestly, I kind of like that. Give me something new. Give me something different. But with that, there is our third of these variants, and there is still another one, I think, on our way, said in the weeks ahead, but this came out like a month ago or more than a month ago, so I don't know when those weeks ahead are, when they're going to tell me what the last one is, but if I find it and I get it, I'll throw it in. But we also wrap up our Bring on the Bad Guys set this week, so we got a last 5 or so, I think, of these variants to kind of finish up this set of 20-ish, 21, thereabouts, but not bad. Not bad. Not the greatest week this week. This just feels like they're wrapping up. But Fantastic Four 33. We got Doom. Kind of like the Hulk. Going to punch Galactus in the nuts here. But yeah, it's kind of a fun look. That's on 26 of Hulk. What else do we got here? Miles fighting Hammerhead. So Hammerhead's getting a lot of action this month, as we saw him on that Hulk book too, right? Was it Hulk? Yeah, it was Hulk punching him in the head. Uncanny X-Men also giving us the leader. I don't know why they're facing the leader here, but sometimes they mix them up with characters and villains they're not usually accustomed to facing, but all right, whatever. And I think our final one is Mephisto here on Vision and Scarlet Witch. So again, this kind of makes sense, whereas the leader one, maybe not as much. But that said, there we go. That's the last chunk, finishing us off for June, which will take us to now Cheesecake covers. I know a lot of you love this segment, but this segment is actually a lot lighter than what it used to be because of, again, I moved things around. I reclassified some books. This is truly some of the stuff that I think we can only really call Cheesecake books. And with that said, just because you got a sexy cover on a random Catwoman book, I don't know if we have to say the whole title is Cheesecake, but some of these, that's the whole point of the book is that. And here we go with Christine Heroes Fall from After Dark. Yeah, so we've got some options here with an A or a B, and then we have some not suitable for work options for you too, if you'd rather go that way. So I cover up the naughty bits, and they're also covered up in the pictures I found. But if you want the naughty bits, you can pay for them as they are open order covers, and you can buy them for what's like $5.99 or something like that. So if you want them, go for it. Also, from the same publisher, they're reprinting this Flesh-Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space series and giving us multiple options here as well. So you got A, and then we got a B there, and then here's a third cover for you there, and you got all these different cheerleaders, Flesh-Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space, apparently. And if you want naughty versions, well, they'll have you covered there as well. With boom, there you go. So you can buy all those again, all for cover price, whichever version you want. That said, we do have this Killer Cobra, The Hunt Begins #3. There are a couple of covers that are not Cheesecake related at all, and then randomly, it's Zenescope. There's just a Cheesecake cover or two, like this one, which is also the 1 in 20 when we take our top off, I guess. Is that what we're doing here? Yeah, I think that's all we're doing. Yep, there we go. There's our 1 in 20 if you want to go that way. Yeah, you still wear the tank, so it's not that risque as compared to some of the others, but still. That's our 1 in 20 option if you want to go that route. Which takes us to other covers that I like. As we're seeing the end of the show, this is near the end. This is just stuff that didn't fit anywhere else, but I do like the covers, and I think they're worth a mention. Worth spotlighting in any way. So with that said, let's take a look here at our first one, which is going to be a couple of covers from that Vision and Scarlet Witch #2. I like the Daughterman cover. He does excellent covers. I like this one here with the Grim Reaper. It's pretty cool. You got the blood and the red and the white. It's just well laid out. Like 3 colors basically, but each character is in their color, and they represent that color because of the White Vision, and you got Scarlet Witch. And anyway, you get it. Well done. That's all I'm saying. There is also a pretty cool Villalobos cover that looks very Adam Hughes-esque. So Pablo Villalobos there. You can get that one. There is also a Jay Encelado option here on the 1 in 25. If you'd like to go that route, also pretty nice. And then we'll go back to that Villalobos and take a look at a virgin version of it for our 1 in 100. So if you want to do that and get that incentive, you can. Also, title I'm not really getting, Minor Arcana. This is that Jeff Lemire book. It's probably a good read because Jeff Lemire usually writes good stuff. I'm not saying everything is a winner, but more often than not, I do like a good Jeff Lemire book. But here we have a Dan Panosian cover, which I would not even guess was a Dan Panosian because, well, the character's back on one of these open order covers. And then we do have this same cover in a virgin that is our 1 in 10, I think, or no, 1 in 20 option. So you can get a 1 in 20 option of this here. Sorry if I didn't put the 1 in 20 bit in there, but this is a 1 in 20. And then we do have this option here, which is actually the 1 in 25, this Yannick Paquette for this same Minor Arcana book. But yeah, I like them. These are just cool covers. I like them. Even though I'm not getting this title, I like these. These covers are pretty well done. But one of my favorites is actually this high ratio. This Maria Wolf 1 in 75 mummy is just awesome. I just like it. I like her intricately detailed kind of style. It's got a bit of a tattoo, new school sort of vibe, but mixed with a lot of bright other bright. I mean, new school does have a lot of bright colors, but I don't know. I like the purples and the greens here. I just like this cover a lot. It's 1 in 75 though, so there's no way I'm going to go and pay that 1 in 75 price. But I do dig this one. Which again, I usually hear say that those were covers I like, but they're not the best of the week. But let's get to the best of the week. And admittedly, this week for the best of the week, that last cover I showed you is one of my favorites of the week. Like, normally that's not the case, but that is one of my favorites of the week. And yes, that Maria Wolf is my favorite incentive of the week. And I think it is the best incentive cover of the week because it's just awesome. And with that, we'll go way, way back to earlier in the show. And I think I mentioned it there too. This Ivan Talavera, this Blink cover, open order cover, trade, regular cover price cover. Favorite regular cover of the week is this with the trade dress. I don't think the trade dress takes away from the cover at all. In fact, I think it adds a little something to have it like kind of in the background there. But if you want the 1 in 50 Virgin, you could, but then that would be on the variant side of things. But even at a Virgin, I still think I like that Maria Wolf better. I don't know. I just like it. But that is our show for the day. I'm sorry, I'm still over an hour, at an hour and 11, but we'll get there. I'm still fine tuning and tweaking here and there, trying to combine things and sum things up. We'll get there back to an hour soon enough. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you found this helpful. Thanks for all the support. And thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I do appreciate it all. Hopefully you guys come back for more shows. I got plenty more stuff coming your way. I still got a new trade secrets I want to bring back sometime later this week. Some more last to know to do at some point. Some more sneaky keys if I can fit them in here or there. But it is summertime and my son is keeping me busy with all of his swimming and football. So yeah, it is what it is. I will get the content out to you as soon as I can. But with that all said, hopefully you're still enjoying it. Hopefully you're still on board for it. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. And I will see you all later with some more content. All right.